Going back to talking about Jehovah's Witnesses and me having been in the cult for 22 years, from when I was 14 until I was 37, something like that. So I was talking to my daughter again this morning about some of the people we used to know. So when my children were little, I did actually homeschool for a little bit, and that's something that Jehovah's Witnesses like to do. Like to homeschool their kids to keep them out of mainstream schools, to keep them away from the worldly people and from having influences, because they're terrified that the kids will grow up and not become Jehovah's Witnesses, which is really quite bad, because kids should grow up and make their own choices, but there's a lot of pressure. And so the children my daughter used to play with and be friends with, so I actually sent my kids back to school eventually, which was the best thing I ever did for them. But the kids who are now grown up, the same age, like my daughter or older, they've got no education. They've got nothing. They've got no GCSEs. They've got nothing. And it's like, what are they going to do? You know, those kids, they know nothing. They've been homeschooled. They've not been given proper maths or English or science. It's just faffing about, because I remember it. It was just like, oh, Armageddon's around the corner. We don't need education. And now the governing bodies turn around and said, oh, yeah, you can go to college and university. And these kids in the late teens now, because my daughter's 17, nearly 18, these kids not even got GCSEs. They don't know how to socialise. They don't know how to be with other people, because they're like so insulated and so kept away from normal functioning society, from other kids, right? So I'd say that's child abuse. Like, thank God I woke up and I put my kids in school. And even then, you know, I wish I'd never bothered with homeschooling, but it is what it is. I can't change it. But yeah. And then I was just saying, how can they not see that it's all a con? It's the biggest scam of the last 150 years. And I know there's other organisations like that. There's other cults, you know, you've got Mormons, you've got Scientology, you've got all sorts. But Jehovah's Witnesses, how can they not understand? How can they not see that they're being conned all this time? Right? I remember the times where guys who even had a tiny bit of stubble would be called into the back room by the elders and told off, and basically threatened for having a stubble or a moustache or any kind of appearance of beard. And now they can have beards after 150 years, right? Or women can suddenly wear trousers to the meetings. And now people can go to college and university after 150 years. With all these kids that I knew as little kids who were homeschooled and kept away from schools, from education, they're all the same age as my kids now, 14, 17, and or older or younger. And they're dumb. They really are. I can remember 10 years old, and like some of them, like young teenagers, can't even talk properly. They can't talk or read properly. And this is what the parents have done to them because of what the governing body's been saying. Do they not see it? Do they not see that it's child abuse and it's a con? And another thing is, as someone who's still quite spiritual, I genuinely believe that the Jehovah's Witness God, their Jehovah, is actually quite a dark entity. Because no benevolent entity, call it whatever you want, God, spirit, no benevolent entity would support an organisation that is happy to hide a list of paedophiles, that is happy to have abusers and to encourage abuse, and is happy to con people out their lives. It is, they're conning people out. from having a life, from having education, pension, property, career. And then the moment it no longer suits them, it's like, oh, actually, yeah, you can go to college and university. Where was that even in the Bible in the first place, that you can't? Where was it? Did it ever say anything about women having to wear skirts to meetings? I mean, it was written like over 2,000 years ago. It doesn't even apply. Where was it about men not being allowed having a beard? Nowhere. Nowhere. It's the biggest scam ever, and I fell for it. And there's still millions of people in it. Kids. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I don't understand how I've not woken up yet that the governing bodies are the biggest con artists going. But that's my share for Sunday morning. Have a nice day.